as soon as we started our agency, we're helping clients now do over $100 million a year with our agency coming in, optimizing their VSLs, using your tools. We're doing bigger and bigger numbers now than what we did.
Hey, welcome everybody for checking out this episode of the Vidalytics podcast with Chris Encarnacion, one of our certified conversion architects on the Vidalytics platform. I'm super excited to have Chris here. He is one of the leading experts of making VSLs and making video funnels for clients. And he has been a power user of Vidalytics for a long time, has gotten certified, and is using all of these frameworks and tools with his clients. Chris, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for inviting me. I love Vidalytics, so thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. So cool. So I'm going to dive right into things. So why don't we start with letting everybody know kind of like about your business?
So our company's called VSL Ads with a Z. I've been in the direct response industry since 2008, 9-ish, that kind of cusp of fall of 2008. I got involved, learned what direct response was. 2009, professionally started making videos for more like a freelancer. Then eventually a group of friends and us started a YouTube channel called Six Pack Shortcuts. 2010, pointing a camera at Mike Chang, a swole bodybuilder guy. And the company grew massively. I was there for a little over 9 years, a day one video producer all the way through. We've done hundreds of millions of dollars in sales through VSLs. The company got acquired in 2019. I started my agency. And now our agency, we have 37 video editors, 8-man production team, and we have 5 internal writers. So we're a group of 50 people, essentially. We're not only just VSL producers, but we write, produce, edit, helping it convert, split testing, just essentially an agency that makes sure that VSL is pumping and converting and crushing.
Wow. That is so powerful. Now, I just want to double click on something that you said. And of course, I'm familiar with the story of Six Pack Shortcuts. It was a massive offer and brand, through the 2010s. But you folks did hundreds of millions of dollars of sales. Yeah, yes. That is so impressive. And now you're basically replicating that and taking that and working with the clients and kind of delivering all the things that you learned from generating all that revenue on the inside of a brand, now working with the clients and basically handing that off. So that's super powerful. Anything to add to that before I kind of take this segue?
So that's why being alive right now in the industry right now with the kind of tools that you're making is so revolutionary. I wish we had Vidalytics back then, because if we did 700 million in sales throughout the course of all those years, we would have done billions, right? Because our video player never did what yours does, right? We're getting way more success now. So imagine being there for over 9 years, having that success. As soon as we started our agency, we're helping clients now do over $100 million a year with our agency coming in, optimizing their VSLs, using your tools. So we're doing bigger and bigger numbers now than what we did. So we took what we learned, rolled it up. So essentially just scaling to the moon.
That's so impressive, because a lot of people that are joining or thinking about joining the Conversion Architect Accelerator and getting certified by Vidalytics, basically in how to scale video funnels, they may not have your type of track record. But then to kind of think about this, that we've been working together for a while. Chris and his agency has been like a power user of Vidalytics. So when we really kind of open up this certification program where we're like, hey, we have all these playbooks and things that we figured out in-house by working with thousands, tens of thousands of companies that are doing video marketing and acquiring customers with videos, that we have these things figured out, from all the videos that have sold $3 billion on Vidalytics to the frameworks that we run people through when they're going to do a split test with us, anything like that. And we open it up to agencies. And Chris, with this massive track record, $700 million in sales, that's a big number. Is like, yes, I want to learn this. I want to go to the next level. And this is a valuable tool that I'm actually using in your business.
The thing is this, all the data that Vidalytics possesses and what you're able to give us gives us the benchmarks and gives us essentially the bullseye, right? We're all running this race. When I'm able to look at the data that you guys provide and go, am I in the pocket? Is there something missing? A great VSL has this open rate, this conversion rate. So we're able to literally carve out and match that.
You have this track record, you have these results, and you've gone to the next level, and you still find value in using this type of thing. So it's anything but basic.
The thing with Vidalytics is that this is the first time the videos speak back to me. right? It's like I used to just throw a video out into the internet world, and we would just kind of see the performance based on what the analytics, how the website performed as a whole. But we were never able to really just fine tune and really dial in that video and really know what's really happening. We kind of just judge the website as a whole. It's working. We're happy. Is it profitable? Great. Now with Vidalytics and going through the training, the video is speaking to me. Like the video has a language, right? Like I'm seeing the conversion rates, the average watch time. I'm seeing the drop off rate, the percentage. I'm seeing the fallout. I'm seeing the back tail, who's left in the video. So it starts telling me a story. If my percentage is too low on the back end, and I'm not really getting enough people through the door, then obviously my story isn't strong enough, or my engagement in the video isn't strong enough. And I have to go back and I probably need a fresh lead or a hook. Maybe the mechanism isn't strong enough. So it kind of helps me carve out the winner, reading the data, based on data, being led by data, and everything just works better when data is the driving factor. And Vidalytics allows me to do that. Yeah.
I mean, I honestly believe that Vidalytics has the most robust video marketing analytics anywhere in the world. And it's, pretty simple because we had that going back like 8 years ago when we were launching. And then we've just continued to build upon that. And nobody's even caught up to our 1.0 version, but we're on like 3.0, as we call it internally, as far as the ability to segment audiences, ingest URL parameters, see where people are dropping off, where they're buying, compare two videos at once. Have affiliate data, ad data, all in that kind of thing. And one of the things that, not to get too off topic here, but the way that I think about it is that the video is the heart of the conversion process, right? You have the ads, landing pages, checkouts, the marketing automation, sales teams, all this stuff. But in the center of that is the video. And when you're able to optimize that, but not only just get better results out of it, not only just understand it better, but also connect it to the other kind of, major kind of pillars of the customer journey, then you're able to really kind of just elevate the entire process and supercharge each single step throughout that, such as the ads, the CRM, marketing automation, sales teams, all of that, with not only ingesting data, but also pushing data to other places. Because a very interesting fact, right, which this is part of our State of VSL scaling playbook. This is the data and benchmark that Chris is alluding to here that he's using with clients. But in there, we found that on average, 3% of people make it to the end of a video, but that 3% represents 47% of all conversions, which is just an astronomical number. People are these videos are too long. Who's watching it? It's well, the people who are buying are the ones that are watching it, and you don't need a big percentage there. So it's a little hinge that swings a big door, and having those numbers, not only to understand them, but to also feed them to other places allows for a lot of leverage and scaling.
Yeah, I started looking at VSLs like a visual funnel, right? Like it's a video. Imagine it it's its own funnel in its own right. It's a video presentation, but it's taking you on a journey. You're visually going through a funnel internally yourself, watching, and you're getting qualified watching this video, and you're getting warmed up watching this video, and you're seeing the testimonials, the pain, the passion, the purpose of what the messaging is, and whatever the niche is. But essentially, when you get to that 3/4 in, right, where now it's essentially the big reveal and how to buy it, I already understand how you formulated it, who's it helped, who's it's for, why you did it. The story of the company. I know so much that it essentially turns me into a buyer. And there's nothing more beautiful than a video like that could actually take cold prospects and turn you into a buying customer. To me, the VSL is the most amazing thing in this whole industry, because I mean, you have an MP4, a video that someone watched cold. They don't know who you are. And next thing you know, they're pulling out their credit card and they're spending $300 average order value or whatever it is. But you know what I mean? That's powerful. And the fact is that we're able to do it and optimize it and use your tools to do it. And the data that Vidalytics captures, send that back in to the media buying platforms. So now you're further optimizing the campaign, right? You're sending quality data. So now it tries to find similar audiences that are able to that are going through the video. So I love being alive in this time and with tools like yours. Like, because I mean, you're talking about being able to get things to crack a lot faster and actually know what's happening and scale profitably the right way, right? Not in the dark, not knowing what's really happening, and tools like yours turns people like us into sorcerers. It really does. So I thank you, Sir Patrick. I think
that's a great point. Yeah, thank you. So that's really interesting because obviously, you're using this to get better results. I'm curious, how are you using basically Vidalytics, in any client conversations, if you are at all? But like maybe you're talking to a new client, maybe they're skeptical, maybe they're not. They're kind of like, who are you? And it's like kind of like, what we talk about with the accelerator is how to step into a category of one and not just be a copywriter, a CRO, a media buyer, a video production company, any of these things that's just like kind of like a widget and a commodity, which is only getting more and more devalued with things like ChatGPT and things like that, where people are just like thinking that, why should I pay this top dollar, fee to an agency when, ChatGPT can do this, which isn't necessarily true a lot of the time. But basically stepping into that category of one and really kind of being the solution and not just the input, but the outcome that people want, with being like, hey, I'm going to deliver the result. I'm going to deliver the ROI. And one of the ways that we do that is by making sure that you get results, that you get conversions, and we understand the data, but we're also using the tools and features to grab that attention, keep the engagement, prevent people from bouncing, collecting leads, driving to a call to action, all the things that Vidalytics does. On the player side, we've been talking a lot about the analytics, but there's, so many more things actually just on the player that are, basically little like iterative things, that little hinges that swing big doors. But yeah, anyways, not to ramble too much there, but I'm curious how you may be using that in any kind of client conversations, like before you're landing somebody.
So this actually happened this week. I was talking to someone who, when I first got on the phone, they were literally telling me, hey, we just want something as cheap as possible, just AI. I mean, just kind of, we just need something kind of thing. And I don't think they fully understood what they were asking for. So I was able to log into my Vidalytics account. Yeah, I was able to log into my Vidalytics account and show them, listen, it's not about handing you a video. It's about crafting a winning, converting video. We can spend, 3-4 weeks creating an output and I could turn in a video. But if the video gets no conversions, gets no sales, we all wasted time, money, resources. And I never want a client to be in that predicament with me ever. So I was able to show the difference of using Vidalytics. I logged into some of the VSLs that we have. I showed them, when a client asked for a certain type of video, and then when we would suggest our certain type of video, and I was able to, you have a compare feature, which is awesome. So I was able to pull up the VSL and pull up the winning VSL and compare the way it looked, the open rate, the play rate, and also the conversion rate, everything. And I explained, when you just throw something at the wall just to see, and you're trying to do things as cheap as possible, and you're just trying to get it live, you're literally asking to be in a situation where you're chasing your tail and you might not get something that converts you. You might not be profitable on the internet, period. But if you're crafting something carefully and you're using people like myself that could create you a quality video that is high quality, that has the capability of filming a doctor or a presenter, and then has the tools like Vidalytics that actually sees the performance, see what's happening, the probability of you actually carving out a winning VSL is so much higher than just throwing something at the wall. So I was able to demonstrate that, showed her, and I said, look, in this scenario, we were spending $2,000 on traffic and making $1,000 back. Even if it converted, it wasn't profitable. In this scenario, this video showed us that we made $4,800 back and we only spent $2,000 on traffic. We're ready to scale this thing, right? So that's what clients want to hear. That's what clients want to see, that you're not just making a video and handing it over and then good luck. You're actually a part of the process to dial it in, to see what needs to get fixed, and have those conversations. Hey, this has potential. I see smoke, but I think we need 5 new leads. Hey, we're having a drop off here. There's a disconnect. And Vidalytics allows me to do that.
Wow. That's amazing. I love that idea. I'm not sure if I've ever heard of anybody doing quite what you did with pulling up the compare view, having kind of be like, hey, I can make this video for you and it's going to cost this much and take this long. Or I can make you this video and you can see the difference in performance right here. So it's allowing for like an upsell and really kind of like a powerful demonstration of why they should be going with like your higher end service and just, justifying kind of like what you do. Not to mention just being like, I'm sure that implicitly being able to pull up those stats and kind of have that like, kind of real world example in front of them probably gave a ton of confidence in, instilled in them, as opposed to just being like, hey, well, it's going to work better, this, which is probably what everybody says, but just being like, no, I know it works better. I've done it before. Here's the data. So, yeah. So,
and you'd be surprised. Sorry, not to cut you off.
No,
you'd be surprised how many offer owners, they have the seasonings to make a masterpiece. They can make a Michelin star dish, and they just won't take the leap because of the funding, right? Or they just don't want to, or they feel like they're scared. I've had another client who has a doctor that went to Colombia. Everything's based around this person. They're the face. Wow. They're the brand. They've been a part of the company for over a decade. And for some reason, no one thought about putting this guy on camera. No one thought,
really?
Why not?
That's crazy.
Yeah. And they were just like, well, no, we just need a voiceover. Why would you do that? Like, look at the difference in videos that have a presenter that's real, legit. I'll fly to the clinic. I'll shoot at the clinic. Look at this custom bureau we can make. We can actually craft the kind of VSLs now that scale to over $100 million, right? Not just something that's keeping the lights on. And I feel like because of your tools, we're able now to get more aggressive and take harder and bigger swings, because we know eventually we're going to carve out a winner. Like, there is no now, maybe this will work, maybe it won't. It's all about carving it out. If it didn't work right now, okay, let's read the data. What are we missing? We probably need some new leads. Okay, is it the presenter? Sometimes even the name of the supplement could be something where you'd be like, everything's kind of there, but there's something missing. Let's get another version of this video out and just change the supplement name just to see. It's working. It's like you'd be surprised, but the video just, with Vidalytics, now you have that kind of power.
Yeah. You're really kind of hitting on like the eureka moment of where I was 9-10 years ago with having a brand that I had built, and it had actually been successful. It sold millions of dollars, and our funnels fatigued, and the market had moved on. And I was sitting there late at night with very rudimentary analytics on a different platform, right? Just engagement, which is basically the most and only thing that like another video player can give you. But I was sitting there toggling between tabs, trying to figure things out, not able to change the date range, not know where people were buying. And I was just like, I have a conversion blind spot, and I don't know what it is. And that was really like the eureka moment, because I was like, I knew enough about tech because we've been building custom tools in this other brand with engineers and stuff like that. So like I'd kind of, gotten adept at like what was possible. And suddenly the ideas started just flowing rapidly as far as like what I actually needed to understand and be able to do, both, understanding the performance of the video and on the player side, as far as what happens when somebody comes and watches it, what happens when they pause it, do they opt in? Do they do this? What happens when the video ends? Does it count down and redirect to another page? And it was that eureka moment. And it was like, I need a conversion blueprint. And that's why we call the certified partners on Vidalytics conversion architects, right? Because they create the blueprint, they hand it to the client, and it delivers those results. So I want to circle back to something here. So you're telling this great story. You're talking to a client. They were trying to cheap out and really not do what's in their best interest, which John Carlton talks about this. If you have if your product, your service actually delivers results, then you owe it to people to sell it as aggressively as possible. And sometimes that's with dramatic proof and with like, that kind of authority that, being a certified partner allows to do. But so, they're trying to cheap out, and you have the data. What happened next? Are they a client? Did they buy the bigger package? What happened?
No. Yeah. So they raised their budget by 3x. And now they're covering expenses for me to fly and go film and do everything I have. From cheaping out, just wanting a voiceover with AI, to now full production. Cameras are coming out. I'm crewing up. We're gonna be traveling here in the next few weeks to go. Yeah. Go make a movie, essentially, right? So
sure. And that's your like. And that's like your ideal kind of deliverable, right? Because like maybe not everybody wants to get on a plane or like even, is able to do that. But this is like your premier package that's like the most valuable to you. It's going to deliver the best results. Yeah. So that's your ideal outcome. And it was a 3x increase in revenue for you, huh?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, exactly. Well, once they saw the reality of it, and this is the beautiful thing. Now I have the budget to make the masterpiece that I know I can make, and I've got the room to make sure that it works and converts. And once I'm there, I can easily now sign up as an affiliate myself and help drive more traffic and make money on another whole business partner, strategy, because I carved out the VSL. I know that it works. I also have the team that put it together, so I can have my creatives be that much better than anyone else's. I have the relationship with the vendor, so I'm able to now negotiate a higher CPA payout, whatever that is. But what I'm saying is, it just Vidalytics allowed me just to become a sorcerer in this front and be able to break out and try now take new swings in business and expand in other ways. Another thing that we did is that Vidalytics really helped us out is because you have all the data and the graph and the way the player is. We were able then to really focus on okay, let's just focus on the first 10 seconds. Okay, and when we would launch a video, a couple, not every video is a smash, but there was a couple videos that I saw a nail arrow shoot straight down to the bottom. Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about from the moment it hit play, that was the video, and then at the bottom, it did this, right? Yeah. So when I saw that, I was like, oh my God. It doesn't matter what kind of mechanism you have. It doesn't matter if your product, it could save the world. No one's going to see it. So with Vidalytics, we were able to go, we need to just focus on the first 10 seconds and just do we're doing something wrong. We were able to beef that, that nail expanded and it turned into a big beef. And now we have this whole thing just look like a big, like just like a beautiful hill flow all the way on its way down. And we were able to do it because we focused on the first 10 seconds, split test it, it got bigger. Okay, now let's go from 0 to 5 minutes. Just focus hard there. And now I'm able to tell my team, hey, I need 10 guys. I need 10 different 5-minute variations. Just give me 5 minutes, plug it into the rest of it. We're split testing now 5 variations of the first 5 minutes. Now I'm seeing which one's growing. That's my 5? Great. 5 to 15. 5 variations of 5 to 15, right? And I got my 5 top editors now pumping out. And then little by little, we start crafting this VSL with Vidalytics. And now we know we got a smash, we got a winner, and let's scale, right? But I can't do that without this. There's nothing else that gives me that's that fast that gives me that kind of data with the kind of support that your team has as well. I mean, there were a couple of tech issues that we had trying to get things set up. And the moment I emailed someone, they were willing to get on a Zoom call. They were willing to talk to me and talk me through it. And I was able then just to kind of brainstorm some ideas, and they gave me other solutions and that's where I started getting more intrigued. Like, I don't really know how to use Vidalytics the way I think I do. And then boom, reached out to you guys. And then I realized I was missing out on so much. I was probably missing out on 85% more value I could have brought if I would have just done this sooner. But I'm glad I'm here now. We're closing more deals because of it. So it's great.
That's beautiful. At higher prices, sometimes 3x. I mean, that's powerful. Yeah. So like the genesis for wanting to open up this partner program and train people and basically give them our recipe, give them our intellectual property on how we're delivering results for clients, like 9 and even 10-figure brands in some cases that are all driven by videos, all driven by paid ads and affiliates. Is that, we would have people reach out and they'd be like, hey, can we pay you? Or I jump on a call with like a new client and I'd be like, hey, you should do this and this. This is what I'm seeing. This is the strategy that we know that works. And they'd be like, hey, that's great. We're going to do what you said, but can we just hire you? And, the answer is no, I'm running my own company and I'm too busy. And then there's also these clients out there that are just like too small for us to be able to service in that way. Because like when we're getting on like quarterly calls and doing video conversion audits, sharing our benchmarks, really advising on the entire customer journey, helping them like integrate like the video to the other aspects of their funnels, then that's a enterprise client that gets VIP supports. They get a shared Slack channel. They get access to our engineers. They get access to our product people, our account managers, all that kind of stuff. We'll do custom coding for them. We get on calls. We advise on everything. And we like, if they have a problem, we come in and solve it. Like last week where, there's a 9-figure company in the golf space and they were like, hey, we think that our pages are slow. Do you have any ideas for us? And we're like, yeah, we got a playbook for that. And it's like, about 20 different things that we came up with. And they're just like, wow, like, can we talk about this? Can we hire you to do this? And we're like, for that sort of thing, that's beyond the scope of what we do. And it's like, there's so many things that are beyond the scope of what we do because it's like, hey, you should start split testing new leads. You should be, like connecting your ads in this way or like killing this ad or working more with this affiliate, or maybe this affiliate is fraud, which we've also identified for a lot of people. So it's those types of things where it's like somebody that's a service provider and wants to charge clients for services for work that they're doing, which is just not what we do because we're a tech company, So it's actually arming them not only to get better results, but also to service the same clients that we have together in a better way. So, and then like something else that's really powerful, and Chris, you touched on this, and I don't know how much you've actually done this, but you're kind of talking about like this playbook that we have that we call it like basically a strategy call that leads into a retainer. And it's where it's like, hey, I'm going to give you this deliverable. And instead of like melting into the ether, we're going to get it onto Vidalytics and we're going to collect the analytics on it, the data on it. And we're going to, set a call. Maybe it's a 1 week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks down the road after it's live. And then we're going to get on and we're going to take a look at how it's going so that like you kind of know what your next steps are. And then the natural conclusion out of that conversation is, okay, here's what you should do next. Do you want to pay me more money to do that? Because you're talking about testing new leads and being like, hey, all right, so like you have too much drop off in the beginning of your video. And this isn't just my opinion, but this is based on videos on Vidalytics that have sold $3 billion, right? Almost 200,000 videos. So you have a lot of authority saying this. And then it's like, hey, you're below average. We should try some new things. Do you want me to do that? When do you want it? Yeah. So are you selling those packages up front, or are you coming to the client after you do the initial deliverable, they run for a while, and then you're basically using the analytics to close them themselves?
Yeah. So initially the first close, like day one close, is a high ticket, right? I like to be in a situation where I like to do an amazing job without thinking about it. And I don't want to be in a situation where it's like, here's a little taste. And then try to close. No, right now, this is what I can do. Here it is. I'm a hammer, high ticket. Look what I can do. Proven track record. And I first establish a situation where the wolf's off my back and the back's off the door. You know how that whole thing is, but a situation where I'm comfortable. My team's comfortable. We can actually think clearly on what needs to happen. Emotion's not involved, right? That everything's covered, and now it's just strategic, data-driven decisions, right? So once we establish that, and we've got room where we can work, we could fly here, we could fly there, we could hire actors, we could get things rewritten, we can really work. It's not a relationship where we're just turning in one video. It's a process where we're actually gonna create the winning video, right? So we're part, and there's been situations where we had to make 8 VSLs because we got that far deep into it because the first part was right, the second part really wasn't, but essentially we give them the first round, we get data, and now it's like, what do we do next? We all brainstorm and say, let's try this, let's try that, let's try this. Okay, go, and the relationship keeps going with the client. Or if it's a situation where it is a one-off and I do just hand it over, it is a situation now where we could talk 2-3 weeks later, go through the data, and then I go, I think we need a new close and 2 new closes and potentially a new lead. And they go, let's do it. Like right now, I just got pinged yesterday from another client. They just sent me 2 new closes, going through Vidalytics and realizing how we still had, when the reveal happened, we still had about 16% of the people were still on the video, which is pretty good during the reveal when the video, essentially you're 80% into the video. So, but something was happening where it's just, and we were like, we just probably need a new aggressive close to like really bring them in. And and now I'll be shooting here on Tuesday. and today's Friday.
Yeah.
But I'll be shooting Tuesday. Now the actors coming to the studio. We'll be shooting 2 new closes, right? And that I was able to close that because I stuck around. And this is a video we launched 6 months ago. So for us to stick around and we've already exhausted everything that we could think of on the lead side. Numbers were great. And now we're focusing on the tail end. And here we are, doing, and then 2 closes, that's 2 separate scripts, 2 separate kind of, so you're talking about all in, it's an extra 50 minutes of delivery, right? Because if it's 2 closes, 25 minutes each for the close. So now, our editing team now has a lot of, we have a lot of work to do. It's nice to have that injection again, and clients just keep coming back and keep re-upping because the data's telling them they have to, right? It's not a situation where I'm really I don't even have to force it anymore. It's almost like, look, you see it, I see it. We have to do this. Okay.
Yeah.
Go do it.
Nice.
So,
yeah. And I mean, all of these things that we're actually talking about too are beyond any kind of rev share and like additional revenue stream that, our certified partners get, which we've killed our affiliate program. We don't work with affiliates, and really because we only want people that are going to represent our brand and really understand the horsepower, not just kind of be like, here's the latest thing that I'm promoting and like just kind of like disappear after they, kind of make that connection. So being able to actually get that additional revenue stream, almost like you have like a software company, in your own business yourself is really powerful. And another thing that I'll say is that Chris is out here swinging from the fences. He's the high ticket hammer is what he said. And, that's beautiful. He's got a huge track record, but what we've also had other people doing is that they will show up and they'll be like, they'll make the pitch or whatever. And if the client's hesitant, it's like, well, why don't I just do a video conversion audit of what you're already doing? And, one, that kind of gets them over to Vidalytics, what creates an umbilical cord, because then like as a certified partner in your agency account dashboard, you can see all of their videos, all of their offers. So you kind of know what's going on. So you can keep a pulse on their business, but then also charging a small fee, which right now our team will actually do video conversion audits at no cost for certified partners. So basically it's something that our partners can get for free and then turn around and sell, get their foot in the door. And then afterwards, the people see like, wow, here's a list of all the things I could be doing to increase my, results. And here's what I'm doing now. So it's just like, yeah, please implement this. It's like, do you want me to do this? And then it's just like, the first domino of opening up that relationship. So that's another way to kind of tackle it from the low end as opposed to the high end. Either one works. It's up to every individual out there of, what they're selling and, how they feel about it. So this has been fantastic, Chris. I know that you're a busy man and we're at the top of the hour, so I'm going to let you run, but I'm curious if you have any closing thoughts here before we wrap up. Basically, thanks to being a conversion architect, a certified one with Vidalytics, that you're landing more clients, you're charging more money, you're opening up retainers. And of course, we're making introductions because we're out there talking to thousands of marketers all the time. So like finding out what Chris is great at, which obviously he's great at a lot of things. Our team is constantly like, hey, this person needs this. And it's like they want to use Vidalytics, but they need somebody to make a video for them or they need somebody to run ads for them. So it's like trying to kind of really be those marketing consultants in the middle because we have so many of those requests all the time.
I'm really excited. You have an amazing team. I was really blown away during our we had a small tech meltdown. We were trying to set something up and we just couldn't figure it out. And the way they just communicated and jumped on a call and essentially just fixed it for us. I was so blown away. So you have an awesome team, Patrick. Like I salute you and I praise Vidalytics. And it's not just the tech team. Your team, the people behind you are that just speaks volume as you as a leader, No, I'm telling you.
I don't know about that.
It speaks volumes. No, it does. It speaks volumes of you as a leader and the vision you've had for this thing. And I'm happy that I'm using it. It just doesn't compare. You're flying blind in so many metrics. It's just Vidalytics just makes everything better. It performs better. The traffic responds better. Your campaigns on the campaign media buying side work better. Everything is just better. And yeah,
nice.
That's my final thing.
And those results, and those results are the currency of getting clients and keeping them happy. So yeah, that's beautiful. Awesome. Thanks so much.
Yep.
So this has been fantastic. Thanks for everybody for tuning in and checking this out. Chris, thanks for joining us here, talking about your experience. Obviously, you're a big fan of Vidalytics, but I appreciate that. It's genuine. I actually didn't share this earlier, but not to extend this too much, but the very first time I met Chris, it was at an event and it was just like, oh, what do you do? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I run a company called Vidalytics. And Chris immediately was like, yo, I love Vidalytics. It's awesome. I tell all my clients to use it. And, that's why he got invited into the agency, partner program in the early days. And, it's just been, a ride ever since then. So thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Take care.